Hello, welcome to Hebrews 1 Ministries. Just got told some rather somber news. The young actor Cameron Boyce has passed away. I remember watching him on the Disney TV series, Jessie, and I also saw him in Grown Ups 1 and 2. I think I saw him in something else, but I just can't remember at the moment. But anyway, he seemed like such a fun young kid, full of energy, obviously loved his craft of acting, and was actually pretty decent at it for a kid. And obviously because it's difficult for children to be professionals in acting because it takes time and many years to hone your craft and to mature and get better. But for the roles that he was playing, he did really well. Just seemed like a fun young kid who just loved life. And I had no idea about his condition. Not exactly sure what it was, but I think it was some form of epilepsy because he passed away from a seizure during his sleep. And I don't mean to divulge too many details. I just want to send all my love to his family and friends. I am praying for everyone that's close to him through this difficult time, and I hope that you will join me in that prayer. It's such a tragedy when this happens. He was only 20 years old. He was just starting his life. I'm sure he had so many aspirations as an actor, and as I said, he could have really gone places. He had something. So it's such a shame that it got cut short. Now I express my heartfelt and sincere condolences to anybody who's been impacted by this tragic, sudden death. It's never an easy thing to go through, and you are in my prayers, I assure you of that. Now, I wasn't planning on making a video tonight, but when I heard the news just a couple of hours ago, it struck a nerve within me. And before I go any further, please know that I'm not speaking directly about Cameron Boyce. That first section was my sincere love and commiserations extended to those who knew him and to anybody who's been impacted by this. I didn't know anything about him personally, didn't know him. I don't know anything about his beliefs. As I said, I didn't even know he had a condition. So although it was the news of his death that triggered this within me and motivated me to want to make a video about what I'm going to say next, which is very positive, it has nothing to do with Cameron Boyce. It was just the news of his death that triggered this within me. And it's a good wake-up call for myself too. What do you want to be remembered for? And it sounds very cliche, and I myself have heard a lot of times before. So let me try and put it in modern language. Let me try and make it relevant for you. What are you doing with your time that gives it significance? What do you do with your days that gives you a reason to get out of bed? What do you make of your life so that's worth living? And these are very tough questions, and I ask myself these questions every single day. And I'll tell you why. Because if you don't have at least a general idea of how you would answer those questions, then what's the point? Think about it this way. I would much rather pass away at 30 and have lived a full, fulfilling, satisfying, God-glorifying life that was filled with purpose, intentionality, and a pure drive to live for God. That's a life that's worth living, that's worth getting up for every day, something to work towards, something to unite people with. It's bigger than your job, it's bigger than what's on TV, and it's certainly bigger than what's on Facebook. Now, if I got to live out that life, then as I said, I'd be happy to die at 25, 30, because I've lived a life full of purpose. My life has meaning, significance. There's a reason for why I can get out of bed every morning and work towards something eternal. And I'm not just wasting time. I'm working towards something that means something. Well, what's the alternative? I get a good job, make a bit of money, get a wife, kids, house, car, and I just live a safe, risk-free life, get a nice retirement package, and I die in comfort and luxury at 80 or 90. Go on a couple of nice holidays, see the grandkids, and then I'm happy to go. Is that it? Is that all anyone can look forward to? And believe me, they're not even bad things. They're good things to work towards and have in life. They're good gifts from God. But it's when that's it. It's when that's what we live for. That's when we miss the point of what life's all about. We're trading eternity for temporality, immortality for mortality, the unseen for the seen. I like to challenge myself every day. What are you doing today that makes your life worth living? What have you done today to justify God giving you another day of breath? And believe me, I don't mean to put too much pressure on people. I know life's tough. Sometimes it is just hard enough to get out of bed every morning. Believe me, I know where you're coming from. God's got massive plans for you. But you know what? Maybe those plans say you die at 25. Maybe God says you die at 30. Maybe not, but maybe. But you know what? That means you get a couple of years left. What are you going to do? I'll finish on this. Last year, I was in a uni class, did a whole class exercise, everyone got a sheet of paper, and it was write down one thing that you want and one thing that you need to survive in life. And of course, we were encouraged to go beyond the obvious of food, water, and air. Now, I won't go through every response, but here are some of the ones that stood out to me. Let's start up with a few good ones. Some people said their kids, their family, their parents, a house, a job, their health. These are all good gifts from God that we do want. Now, let me go through some of the more ridiculous ones. There was a lot of money. Now, please, enough money to survive is not a ridiculous want to have in life. But I'm telling you, the responses were millions and hundreds of millions of dollars that these people supposedly wanted or needed. A new car or new mag wheels for their car, expensive Porsches, Lamborghinis, Spaghetti Veyrons, Subaru WRXs, holidays all around the world. Now, please hear me before I finish this illustration. These things aren't bad things to have. Believe it or not, it's possible to have hundreds of millions of dollars as a Christian and for it to be absolutely fine. Same with holidays too, there's nothing wrong with the odd holiday. But here's the thing, if you had all those things, would you be happy? Would you be so totally satisfied with life that you could just die and be happy? No. Now let me finish with my answers. And again, I don't think people will take this 100% seriously. So if some of their answers were just a bit of fun, I understand that. But I still took it fairly seriously. Now, obviously with my Christian glasses on, I want to go to heaven and I need Jesus to accomplish that. That's fairly self-explanatory. But I didn't think that would be the most helpful way to get people thinking about life a little bit more deeply in that particular classroom exercise. So this is what I wrote. I said, I want knowledge and I need purpose. Just listen to that. I want knowledge, but I need purpose. Let me quickly walk you through that. I love knowledge. We live in a knowledge-rich society. I go to a knowledge-rich church. I love learning new things on YouTube, TED Talks. I love reading books. I love it when people just tell me fun facts. It's almost a hobby. I just love learning new things. I think it's really valuable in life, and it's definitely imperative to living a wise life. The more you know, then the more information you have at your disposal to be able to make wise choices in life. But do I need it? No, of course not. I need purpose. I need a reason to get myself out of bed every morning. I need something to do. I need somewhere to go. Have you ever seen somebody's life without purpose? They have nowhere to go, nowhere to be, and they've got nothing to do. It's so sad because they're just wandering around aimlessly. What are they doing? Each new day comes and goes and they're wasted all the same. But you, be different. Have purpose. Know God's plan for your life. Come to an understanding that they can take the car, house, wife, kids, holiday, money. Oh heck, if you've got God's purpose in life, they can even take your health. Because what does it matter? You've lived for God. You've run the race. You've built God's kingdom here on earth. There's nothing more valuable or meaningful or significant that you could have possibly done with your time. So please know that God's got purposes for your life and they are good. Even if they're not for your benefit here on earth, what does it matter? The earth's fading away anyway. You really trade eternal glory for earthly rags? No, when you have perspective, you know that heaven is so much better than anything on earth. I pray that God would reveal his purpose for your life. God's good and perfect eternal purpose, his calling on your life. I pray that you find it and never look back. What's my life going to be defined by? What am I going to be remembered for? If even one person, just one person, remembers that my life was lived for Christ, as a servant of Jesus Christ, as a faithful steward of the good news, and a humble worker of the gospel until my final breath. Because whether I act like it or not, that's what life's all about, and deep down I know it to be true. And I pray that you will too. God bless your life. To everyone listening to this video, I pray that it's been a positive reminder that we need to live our lives for God with his good eternal purpose in mind. And I truly pray that God blesses your life with the riches of the gospel of Jesus Christ. For there's nothing more valuable in all eternity